post up, that's a fact, yo. And if you think I'm frontin', you can run it back, yo. Girl, run it back. You know that I run it. Everything you wanna do, I already done it. And I got your little boo telling me she love me. I got this one, that one. Damn, it's gonna be a long night.
Hello guys, what is up? It is me, Prince of Foot, and back here with another video, and today we're doing the final part of What If Naruto Had the Eyes of the Lord, and it's called the final battle because, well, it is the final battle. I hope you guys enjoy. Some of the suggestions, your what ifs, you know. Like I said, do not write an entire paragraph, please. That's not gonna help you. I'm not gonna know what to do. I'm not gonna read all that. You guys know I don't have that much free time, right? This is not meant to be, you know, like targeting any of you. I just don't want you to literally just ruin the whole point of choosing one idea. Some of you wrote 3 ideas in one comment. I don't know which one you're alluding to. You can only give me one. All right, so let's begin. I ain't trying to, you know, harsh the vibes right now because I have a bit of free time and I'm pretty hyped. So before that energy disappears, I'm gonna record a video, and I hope you guys enjoy. The what if Naofumi was an Uchiha, that's gonna be coming soon. Like I said, it's gonna be like 2 parts at most because I'm just like doing a continuation. For those of you who don't know, I am not redoing an entire series. I'm just doing a continuation. At most, I'll probably use the same thumbnail so it doesn't get confusing. Yeah, I'll use the same thumbnail that I did like months ago, so y'all don't get confused. It's just a continuation, not a new series. Alright, let's begin. So the last part, Naruto and Jiraiya tell the village about Pain, and Jiraiya of course survive this time, and then they wait for the Pains, and when they arrive, Naruto single-handedly stops them and brings Nagato and Gohan to their side. After this, Naruto is then made the owner of a new clan and gets offered Hinata's hand in marriage, and he accepts it as the 2 elders are fired and the 4 current major clans are made the new elders. Like, you know, yeah, the elders of their clans are made the new elders. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then the summit happens and Naruto crashes it, you know, stops Sasuke after hearing he joined the Akatsuki from Karui and Omoi. And then after he stops Sasuke, he copies his Susanoo and the Amaterasu, but Tobi saves him, and the Kage are formally introduced to Naruto and the power of the Zen Shogun, and then the war started by Zetsu, who lets them know about it, and Naruto had met Kurama again after so many years. After Naruto gets to meet Kurama again, he would say, "We need to talk," with him saying, "Well, this is new." And Kurama would then ask, "What are you?" Naruto, confused by this question, would then ask what he means, and Kurama says, for such a little brat, he has chakra that is very familiar to him, and Naruto says, "I don't know what to tell you." Kurama then said, "Fair enough, now I want to make a deal with you. In exchange for my power, free my siblings. You're free to decline." Naruto is dumbfounded by the way Kurama is talking, as he starts laughing, causing Kurama to release a bunch of bloodlust. "Are you trying to die early?" "No, I'm sorry, I just never thought the Nine Tails would care about family, but I was planning on saving them anyway." "And why would you care for us beasts?" Naruto would then say, "Because I don't need a reason to help people who are being used as weapons." And Kurama smiles hearing this, as he can sense Naruto's emotions, so he knows he's not lying. This kid's too pure. It's suspicious. Naruto then starts walking up to Kurama's cage, as he touches it, and the seal, you know, on it, and then he starts to unlock it, and Kurama would ask, "What are you doing?" Naruto then said he was letting him out, before then hearing a voice which said that he shouldn't do that, and then he looks back to see Minato, the 4th Hokage. "Dad?" Minato then appears in front of him, grabbing his hand, saying, "You don't want to do this. And what happened to your eye?" Naruto then pulls back his hand, asking how this is possible, and Minato explains that a piece of his chakra is in the seal that he placed on him, and the same goes for his mother. "Why are you trying to break the seal? No, how did you learn to?" Naruto then said he got the seal from Jiraiya and copied it, and now he can use it without needing the scroll. And Minato, hearing that Jiraiya gave him the key, then realizes Naruto has changed drastically from what he thought he would be like, and he's actually brimming with power, waiting to be released. "I'm sorry," Minato would say. As Naruto says, "It's too late for that. What happened can't be changed." Minato then said he should have still tried to find another way, and Naruto says it's fine, but if you want to know, this seal needs to be released so I can become a human-tailed beast. It's needed for the war. He then instantly grabs the seals. Minato could not see him even move, and he turns back to yank Naruto's arm off the cage, saying not to, but it was too late, and the cage would be open as Kurama's energy would be released. "This isn't good," Minato would say, and Naruto says not to freak out, saying, "Show me what you're made of," to Kurama, who then smiles as he opens his mouth, and a mass of chakra starts to gather, and he creates a Biju bomb. Naruto then tells Minato to stay behind him, before Kurama then shot out the blast, releasing the attack as it makes impact with Naruto, who holds out his hand, and a giant explosion occurs. So after this, the smoke starts to clear, and then reveals Naruto holding out a Biju bomb, having stopped Kurama's. "He already learnt it. He's dangerous," Kurama would think, as Naruto would say, "I didn't know you were gonna attack, but I guess it's only fair considering the kind of situation we're in."
His Biju bomb then dissipates as Minato then checks on him and asks if he's fine, and Naruto would say, more or less, hey, we're not dead, right? Minato then asks if he's really gonna go through with this, saying that as strong as these eyes are, controlling a Biju is not easy, and Kurama scoffs hearing this, and Naruto says, whoa, who said anything about controlling? The Nine Tails doesn't have to give me his chakra if he doesn't want to. Besides, I don't really need it. That's why I asked to see his attack. In a way, he's already helped me, so why would I control him? The two are surprised at the way that Naruto is thinking, but Minato is proud that even with all this power, Naruto has gained, a more sense of responsibility and has not become corrupted in some way. I've been more cut off than I thought. Your bountiful chakra must have been stopping me. I can't even look at you. Naruto would then say normal parents would be fighting for their kids even in the afterlife. That's more than enough, but I do wish we met under different circumstances. And Minato would say likewise, saying, one thing I do know is a war is about to begin, isn't it? Naruto then nods as Kurama then says that it should be ended pretty easily now that Naruto has so much power. You've gathered more than 100 jutsu at this point. Don't you dare lose. It will be disappointing. We'll win. And if you see my mom, tell her I said, hey. Naruto then disappears from the space as he comes to his new house, which is a building that is renovated, to make it into the clan house. And he steps out seeing ninja on the move, preparing for war. Some Anbu then land in front of him, bowing, and, they would say, sir, here is your headband. And then they give him the alliance, like headband, and he takes it saying, sir, huh? It's gonna take long to get used to this. The Anbu then disappear as Naruto then walks through the streets getting hellos from everyone until he is found by Shikamaru, who says the Konoha 11 want to have a meeting, so he follows him to a spot where everyone has gathered, and Neji would say, Naruto, let's talk for a bit. What's up? Kiba then says, what are you gonna do when you meet Sasuke? And Naruto says, seriously? Guys, I said I can handle Sasuke, and Choji would say, we know you're really strong, but you failed to catch him 3 times. Obviously it's on purpose, right? Naruto then says, well, yeah, but this is war. I'm gonna make him listen, even if he doesn't want to. Alright, then I'm putting all my trust in you, Shikamaru would say. As Naruto says, I'll make sure that trust isn't betrayed. And Naruto then warps away as he appears in Obito's dimension, saying, I'm guessing this is only a copy of his dimension, not the actual one, so I can do whatever I want. Naruto then points out his finger, creating a small Biju bomb before releasing it in laser form, and this pierces and leaves a small yet very deep cut into the ground across the blocks in this dimension. And Naruto is shocked at what he just did. Like, the trail goes on for a while, and Naruto would say, oh, maybe it's time I finally named that wind jutsu. Wind style, silent devastation? Yeah, that works. And also, if you guys have any other ideas, just tell me down in the comments. Naruto would then make a hand sign with his left hand before then swiping with his, swiping with his right, cutting the air, as if something was in front of him, as the ground then gets shredded up, and it gets ripped off for like 30 yards. And he would say, I still have a lot of chakra. I hopefully won't need the Nine Tails' power. Naruto then keeps practicing because there's at least like 4 days until the war starts and begins. So we're gonna go to Tobi meeting Madara. What the fuck am I saying? We're gonna go to Tobi meeting Madara, who had just woken up, and Madara would say this is earlier than expected. With Tobi then taking off his mask, revealing his true identity as Obito Uchiha, and he says things are going off the rails. The Kyuubi of the Nine Tails, the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails is quite fearsome. Has he learned to completely harness the Biju's power? Madara would ask, and Obito shakes his head, saying he has recently unlocked a dojutsu named the Zen Shogun. Madara is then caught off guard, asking what these eyes can do, and Obito says everything. They can do everything. I'm not even sure if we can beat him at this point. Not even you. If he does anything, if you do anything, he can learn any jutsu that you do. He can learn it just by seeing it once. And he can even copy the abilities of other jutsu and other dojutsu. It does not matter. Madara then says, those eyes, I want them. Obito then says, I told you, you can't be rash. He's already copied the Susanoo, my warping ability, and the Amaterasu. He's too powerful. Madara then says, fine, then the only way we're gonna win this thing is to seal him up and take his eyes, unless his eyes are unreachable as well. Obito then says he doesn't know that, but it's their best shot at getting the Nine Tails' energy and winning this thing, especially since, he has Nagato on his side now, and he might be still in the possession of the Rinnegan. Madara then says there's only one possibility, huh? Well, let's pay him a visit. Where is he right now? Back at Konoha, the Yamanaka clan is scouting for the Akatsuki army, and the alliance between, the nations is being made. Even the rain is included, with the huge battle obviously about to occur. And just in case, Naruto sent some clones over to the nations, including the rain and even the land of samurai to help out. and he gave approximately 20 to each. But the real Naruto is just like looking at all the nations using his sage senses, and he sits atop the Hokage monument, eyes closed, but he can still see everything. And he would be saying, I know it came out of nowhere, but they didn't have to swarm to the clones. They're just clones. Now at this moment, Tsunade then walks up behind Naruto, who asks why she's here, and she would say, I need you to give me a lift to the cloud. And Naruto then opens his eyes as he then, warps her away, and she would say thank you, and, she tells him to stay on guard because they don't know what the Akatsuki is planning. He then nods as she disappears, just as Naruto sighs, wondering what could happen in this war. Just as he then heard a certain voice, and he stands up, turning back to see Madara. And he doesn't know it's Madara, but he just asks, how did you get here? I'm not here, Naruto Uzumaki, and I don't have time to explain that, but I want to have a talk with you. Then what's your name? You already know mine, so it's only fair. To Naruto's shock, he then says that he is Madara Uchiha, and he instantly attacks with wind jutsu. Just as the wind starts to cut Madara, he glitches out and he reforms, showing he was a hologram of sorts. And Naruto would say, so this is why. This is why that masked guy was so confident. So this is your true form. Madara then says, I just wanted to see them, the Zen Shogun. Well, you're not getting them. No matter what you try, you will lose this war as long as I'm around. And Madara says that is true, but if you were to disappear, even for a moment, they would win, and he's gonna make it happen. Just as he says this, Madara then disappears, and Naruto teleports to the cloud and tells Tsunade and A, and this new information, although uncertain, makes everyone get extra careful, and a few days later, the war starts. Naruto's clones, are at the sand with the giant army being led by Gaara and the Tsuchikage, and the Zetsus come to play, and a giant rampaging army of Zetsus just run out, as does everyone, with, Naruto's clones just cleaning them up with wind jutsus, while imbuing the attacks with sage energy, and this turns them into a bunch of trees, and this actually defeats them instead of just making them, go down, and then they get back up, and it's gonna be like a weird cycle. And as this battle is going on, the Tsuchikage would be asking, they're changing it to trees? How does that work? Naruto, Gaara says that Naruto says it's his sage mode or something like that. He's not sure, but these creatures seem to be alerted to strong life forces. Now back on the field, Zetsus are, of course being taken care of all over the areas, and the war is going on like the original, but it's way better since Naruto's clones are helping each quadrant destroy the enemies, and the war is going pretty well for the United Nations. But then the reincarnated people or reanimated people start to be sent out, and the real Naruto is out in the area where he sensed another piece of Kurama's chakra. And as Darui is fighting the twin brothers, the gold and silver, who had absorbed Kurama's chakra in the past, he sees them, freeze as they're standing on water and about to engage in their last battle. And he also kind of feels what they're feeling right now, the reason why they stopped. And he turns back to see Naruto as he walks out onto the sea, passing him. Can I take care of this? Sure, go right ahead, Darui would say, as Naruto then stands in front of the twins, and they cannot move as they face down the true Jinchuriki of the fox. And this is when they notice something white bulging on their arms, and the silver-haired brother Ginkaku freaks out and scratches at it, but simply feels himself losing more and more power, and all of this is getting, transferred to Naruto. Soon they lose even more power, and they cannot control their chakra, and they start to sink, as Darui would then say, isn't that the same weird jutsu that creature used at the summit? He can already use it. Naruto then turns to Darui, telling him to stay on guard as he nods before then asking if he knows what's up with these, people coming back to life and stuff. And Naruto says, I don't know, but they've pretty much crowded the battlefield already. I'll take care of them. He then flies into the air, yelling for everyone to get away, as far from these people, and do their best to, not get in the way. As Naruto then opens his mouth, sending out paper parchments that wrap around the reanimated soldiers. He copied this from Conan, and everyone quickly understands Naruto's plan, and they quickly use the sealing jutsu they receive to seal up these people. And if you're wondering how they got the jutsu, you could thank the Yamanaka clan. Seriously though, the Yamanaka clan is so damn underrated. These guys are OP. Anyway, back at the sand, one of Naruto's clones has already sealed up all the reanimated Kage with ease as he stands atop the seal previous Raikage, and a bunch of others are behind him, and Naruto would say, stay on guard, alright? I never thought I'd see the day Mu be beaten so easily, the Tsuchikage would think. And the army of the shinobi is shocked, but Naruto says that they have to start moving and asks Conan who is there now, if she's done, her part, and Conan says, yes, and yeah, she's helping. I'm sorry, I said the rain was in it, I forgot to mention that. Of course, Nagato is in here, he's being protected, because he's kind of like the Hokage of the rain, so yeah. And after the war continues until night falls, and for a while now, Naruto has been sensing the real Madara do something weird, and he just didn't have time to get to it, but when he gets enough time, he teleports to him, appearing in the same place as in the original for the final battle. Where is he would say, as he then gets caught off, and he looks down, seeing a kind of mark, a seal, and he passes before then getting put in the wood jutsu seal that completely ties him down, a bunch of roots just tie him down, and starts sucking up Kurama's energy and also taking his own chakra, and he cannot move at all. Madara then comes out of nowhere, approaching him with his fully activated Rinnegan as the Gedo statue forms behind him, roaring. Don't resist, no matter how strong you are. You can't do much with your chakra being drained. And Naruto will be struggling, saying, you know I sent reinforcements, right? They won't be here in time, so I get your eyes, and they get to be a part of my plan. Perfect, isn't it? He then reaches for Naruto's eyes, and Naruto struggles. However, as Madara touches the eyes even a little, his arm is blown off, shocking him and Naruto, as this is when Naruto gets free, and Madara would say, how is this possible? Naruto then points to him while Madara's stomach is blown out by a Biju beam, which I'm naming it because Naruto reinvented it, and behind him occurs a giant explosion, and of course he starts to reform because he's reanimation. Alright, next plan. At this point, Naruto is actually, tired because he's used a lot of energy. He's lost too much already from being sealed up, and the war kind of drained him, so Madara takes the chance to try taking his Biju, but then the Geto statue's head is blown off by another beam, completely disintegrating it. As Madara would say, he can still use the Kyuubi's power to such a degree, huh? He then strikes Naruto so hard that he craves into the ground 20 feet deep before then rising him up using wood tendrils, and Madara then punches him again and again, asking, why don't you join me? Naruto, however, then shoves off Madara, and he lands as Naruto then appears right behind him, sending a roundhouse kick to his temple, and this sends him flying, but he regains balance doing some backflips, shooting out a giant fireball, but then Naruto's giant orange Susanoo forms, catching it and crushing it. Madara then creates his own Susanoo, flying into the air in complete form, and Naruto would say, I have to end this fast. This jutsu, if he keeps just reanimating, I'll never win. Naruto then also grows his own giant Susanoo, and it's at its full form, and it takes form of a samurai with a demon-like face, and Madara then creates and throws two giant swords at Naruto, who would create his own sword and cut through them, before then leaping into the air, completely crushing the ground beneath him, and the two then clash, but Naruto then jumps out of his Susanoo and tackles Madara out of his, and when they're in midair, Madara then actually poofs into a log, appearing behind him with a kick, but then Naruto turns into a log as well, and he comes down with a axe kick. Madara then blocks it, but he lands down, creating her into the ground, and the force was pretty, awesome, Naruto is trying his best right now. He's mostly relying on his amazing physical ability, and Madara will be saying, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. Give me your best, Naruto. When Naruto lands back down, he then claws at Madara far away, causing him to be ripped up to shreds, with Naruto saying, silent devastation. Behind Madara, the ground will be ripped up, as well as, the intense pressure of the wind is, just amazing. Especially since, Naruto has actually practiced it, and Madara would say he's getting past my perception. I didn't see anything. He then proceeds to explode everywhere, but he starts to slowly reform somewhere. So Naruto uses Gaara's sand, but amplifies it, and at this point, he starts to bleed from his nose as he covers Madara with the sand before then starting to seal him. Kid, let me help you, Kurama would say, but Naruto would say, no, I'm almost there. As he finishes sealing Madara, he then runs to the Geto statue and touches it, feeling the other tailed beast trapped within it, and he tries replicating the abilities of the Rinnegan as he backs out and he starts ripping out the tailed beast. Inside Naruto, Kurama is amazed that he's actually this far, and he'll be thinking, he really go this far? Just for us? Naruto then tries to fully pull out the energy constructs of the beast, and he does, as you can see them trying to escape as well. But just as Naruto is doing this, he spits out a bunch of blood as he looks down, seeing a wood spike in his stomach. Naruto! Kurama would yell, as Naruto then releases his hold on the beast, and the Geto statue retakes them in, and he falls to his knees before then falling face first, and Madara walks up breathing heavily. Even with that, I bet you'll still try to kill me, won't you? As he says this, he hears rumbling and senses the other shinobi running over, and he even senses Hashirama and the other Kage, and Madara would say, looks like my fun continues. As he says this, he sees Naruto disappear out of his sight in an instant, and he laughs, saying, you're pretty fast. Behind him would then be an enraged Minato in his, what's it called, the Kyuubi mode, and he would say, is it really you, Madara? Where's Hashirama? Madara would ask, instead of answering Minato's question, which is pretty goddamn rude. And Hashirama then yells he's right here as he attacks with a giant wood dragon that Madara tries to absorb, but it doesn't work. I'm not gonna make Madara stronger than Hashirama and wood jutsu. That's retarded. I don't know what the Masashi Kishimoto was thinking. It's Senju, it's the Senju clan thing. Don't make, I don't know. I just don't like that in the war. Anyway, Hashirama then lands with Tobirama, Hiruzen, and Hiruzen's eyes widen when he sees Naruto, and Hiruzen would ask, what about the fox? Is it healing him? Minato then says no as we go to the inner world of Naruto as he opens his eyes and he's sleeping in water. He then quickly jumps up and looks around panicked as he sees a floating Hagoromo. Welcome, Naruto. Am I dead? Are you the Reaper or something? Hagoromo then laughs, saying, surprisingly, even with that injury, you're still holding on and slowly healing. Those eyes really are miraculous. And Naruto would say, oh, then what am I doing here? Hagoromo then says that he's in a limbo state. He has about like 30 minutes before he can actually return. Hagoromo then says, in the meantime, I want to tell you a story. Now, as he says this, you go back outside as the war really starts with the Shinobi having gathered, trying to fight even more reanimated people, and Madara has grown the ghetto statue, and it has kind of released these weird monsters, that are like the kin of it, and the 10 tails is about to form. They just need Naruto's energy, and the Kage are trying to stop the growing tree, containing the beast and all that. Meanwhile, Naruto is being treated by Sakura and Tsunade, and it's just chaos. Tsunade would then say quickly, he heals fast. We just needs to keep him stable, and he'll probably be back on his own. Kakashi, how long can you and Guy hold on? And Kakashi said, I don't know. These things are hard to get rid of. Guy's already going to the 6th gate. When Kakashi is, of course, referring to is the creatures. And now everyone is just mainly trying to focus on the war, but also trying to protect Naruto as well. And on the scene, then arrives Sasuke, who sees Madara and Hashirama duking it out, while Hashirama is trying to keep Madara distracted. And along with him are, Taka and Orochimaru, Sasuke, he's with them, and someone would then see him and say, wait, are you Sasuke Uchiha? That rogue? A rain ninja would ask, specifically, and Sasuke says, what's the situation? The man then says that none of them really know what these things are, and this is when Sasuke senses Naruto's fleeting life force. It can't be. He then runs to his location, telling his groups to, help as he's running to where Naruto's life force is being, kind of being lost. When he's then covered by a cloak made of Kurama's chakra, and the other ninja look at him shocked, but they are also covered in cloaks, gaining a huge amount of power. Isn't this the power of the Kyuubi? But I don't know, but I feel stronger. And all over the battlefield, everyone is getting covered in cloaks. And Minato gets a power-up as well. Hiruzen gets one, Hashirama gets one. And everyone realizes that Naruto is, kind of fighting still. And this is when Sakura and Tsunade are healing him, and they're shocked to gain cloaks themselves. And the same goes for Guy and Kakashi. And Sakura would say, even near death, you're still fighting for us. And regardless, this, of course, this gives everyone a big advantage. With Tobirama then asking how strong this Naruto kid is at full power, because he has also, received a cloak. And Tobirama would then say, he's your son, Fourth. What is he? Minato would then say, rude way of putting it, but somehow it seems my bloodline in the Uzumaki has gifted my son with the dojutsu. Tobirama and Hiruzen are shocked to hear this, with Tobirama then wondering if he would end up like the Uchiha eventually, but he's hoping for the best. Now, while Hashirama and Madara are fighting, he then sees him gain an actual, human form. He's not reanimated anymore, and is surprised before then being caught off guard, and Madara then manages to push him away. And Hashirama would then say, just how far are you willing to go, Madara? I don't know. Something kind of new has piqued my interest. He then raises his hand, pointing towards the villages far away, with Hashirama's eyes widening as he tells Madara to stop, but it was too late as he blasts a Bijou bomb towards the village, which is also one of the strongholds for war, containing the fathers of Shikamaru and Ino. Shikamaru would then yell no, as Hashirama then, he uses his power boost from the cloak, and he creates a giant wall of wood to block the attack, and the two struggle back and forth with no one knowing what to do. And Itachi, one of the reanimated, sees this, and he thinks, I need to get to Naruto. But just when, everyone, thinks that everything's about to get worse, and this really is starting to feel like a hopeless situation. Things are getting worse. Though Minato then appears right atop the wood wall and tries teleporting the Bijou bomb away, but he would be saying, this is too much power. Damn it. Don't worry, Dad. I got it. Tsunade and Sakura will be shocked as Naruto has just disappeared from their sight, and Minato sees him floating in front of him as he sticks his hand out before then using Kamui to warp it away entirely. Naruto? Who else would it be? Other ninja are in all of this as Naruto has just, been seen flying, and he turns to see Madara, and the moment Madara blinks, Naruto is right in front of him, shocking him and Hashirama as Naruto then touches Madara before then forcing his soul out of his body, combining the power of the Rinnegan and the formula used for the reanimation jutsu. And with this, he has cancelled the reanimation jutsu, and Madara is then expelled from his own body, which then starts to basically decay. Are you seriously telling me I never had a chance, Madara would think. And as he floats up away, he sees Naruto's star eyes, which are not even clearer than ever and more beautiful than ever, and his question is answered before he then vanishes. He's gotten stronger again. Way too strong, Sasuke would think, as Naruto then looks to Hashirama, who, with a surprised face, kind of becomes happy, and he would be laughing, saying, "Man, I'm so glad you're okay." Wow, you're the first Hokage, Naruto would say, being starstruck. Hashirama then nods while laughing, and Naruto says, I want to be just like you someday, sir. Now, Hashirama says, one step at a time, Naruto. You're almost there, but let's start by getting rid of this thing. Naruto then nods as he crouches to the ground and touches the tree before they're starting to rip out the tail beast again. But this time the tree puts up his defenses and starts attacking by shooting some wood tendrils at them, and little weird things. But Hashirama blocks them, saying, "Just focus, I got the rest." Naruto then nods, defocuses even more before they completely ripping out all the beasts, and they reform on the ground like in their true form, surrounding the ninja army. And the Kyuubi would land down, shaking the ground. Yuki, Kokuo, Son Goku, Chomei, Saiken, Isobu, Matatabi, Shukagu, they're all there. They had been now surrounding the amazed yet terrified shinobi, and Kurama forms his head out of Naruto's body, saying hi to them all. Yuki would then say, "I never thought you of all people would care, Kurama. Don't just yell out my name like that so easily." The tail beasts then, are kind of shocking everyone, saying, the tail beasts are here and they can talk? People have never really seen them talk because they use like beasts. And Naruto seeing this conversation going on would then interrupt, saying, "If you don't mind me butting in, I just want to say that we humans will never come after you again. I'll make sure of it." The Tsuchikage then yells, being enraged, that's saying that he has no right to say such a thing, and Naruto says, "Shut the hell up." The flying Tsuchikage then falls to his butt, cracking his back, as Naruto in an imposing voice says, "That's enough. Anyone needs to take into account right now that the Bijou have the choice to massacre you. And I won't even stop them from doing so, even if Hashirama is in my way. You have to change your way of thinking." Everyone has been quiet as Naruto says they're beings with their own thoughts and minds. They're not weapons. They get to choose what they do with their lives. Do you like it when you're forced to do something against your will? No one can say anything back as Naruto then stomps the wood creature and it cracks to pieces as he and Hashirama then starts to fall and they would land in a massive crater. And Hashirama would ask, "What do you plan on doing now?" "I'm still settling some unfinished business." Naruto then jumps out of the crater as he lands in front of the army of shinobi, who to his surprise slightly bow, making way for him. And Naruto would say, "Thank you for your hard work. I know you've lost many." He then walks out until he comes across Itachi, who with a smile says, "Please take care of him." And Naruto says, "No promises. It all depends on him from here." Naruto then claps his hands together, doing the 10 signs in under like 3 seconds before then reversing the effects of the reanimation jutsu all over, like everywhere, causing the souls to rise out of the reanimated bodies into the sky just like Madara, and they leave. And the Seal Shinobi that were still resting in other places start to leave as well, with everyone being in awe of this. And Tsunade gets her goodbye from her last lover, and this leaves Itachi with a goodbye with Sasuke. He waves to him for the last time before Sasuke then sheds a tear. And this of course means the Kage are also leaving, and they urge everyone to find a peaceful solution to this until they are finally gone, meaning that Obito, who was caught controlling the army, is at a loss, not even having Madara anymore, so he flees to his dimension. Now back on the battlefield, everyone celebrates this whole thing being over and they hug and rejoice, including the Konoha 11, as Naruto then runs up to Hinata and asks if she's okay. "Are you serious? You almost died." And Naruto says, "Yeah, almost. Sorry for worrying you." She then hugs him even tighter before then saying that he should go take care of Sasuke, and he turns around seeing Sasuke, who is waiting for him, saying, "I'll choose the place." Naruto then nods, with everyone sensing the tension between these two, and they would both erupt with fire, which then turns to Susanos and they fly off, leaving everyone wondering if Naruto was really ready to kill Sasuke. Now as Sasuke and Naruto make it to the valley, they land on opposite sides of different statues, and slowly the sun starts to rise, and Naruto then says, "Before this starts, I'm gonna ask you what you plan to do after. You know my answer, but I'll tell you. After I destroy that bastard Danzo, the leaf is next." "I expected as much," Naruto would say. "I'll hold back on you." Naruto then bursts with chakra, which scares Sasuke as he says, "After all, we're friends." "Not for long," Sasuke would say, as he then forms the Susanoo again and attacks Naruto, and he throws his sword at him and they get to fighting. And it's pretty clear that Naruto is dominating this battle, and Sasuke is never had a chance, but he knew it anyway, and he chose to go through with it. As they kept fighting, Naruto had to hold back a lot as to not kill Sasuke, so he was trying to save him, but Sasuke just wouldn't stop attacking, only getting himself more hurt and hurt, my bad, I don't know what happened there. And soon he's beaten so much that he cannot move, and Naruto then walks over to him with the Raikiri in his hand. "You won't get anywhere like this, Naruto. See, I told you, you have to kill me." Now as he says this, Naruto then goes to punch him with the Raikiri, and Sasuke's eyes widen as he sees only death ahead, only for Naruto to stop himself in time. "Why?" In a fit of anger, he then... In a fit... Oh my god. In a fit of anger, he then punches Naruto across the face, and Naruto takes the punch, and Sasuke then gets up and begins to hit him, being empowered by the hatred that he has until he has Naruto down for the count. He keeps pounding his face, and Naruto then lets himself be hit until eventually Sasuke stops, realizing Naruto was only smiling. It hurts, right? Yeah, I know, Sasuke. You're crazy as hell, Sasuke would say, and Naruto says you. And Sasuke says, what is wrong with you? There's so much bloodlust before. Are you just enjoying toying with me? Naruto then shakes his head, saying, when I almost died, I met the Sage of Six Paths. This catches Sasuke off guard, as Naruto then tells him that they are reincarnations of his sons, and he says, he gave me a chance to come back. I had a choice to make. I wanted to see if I could actually go through with it. I can't kill you, Sasuke. Sasuke would then say, you're such a loser, as he then gets off Naruto and he begins limping away, when Naruto stands up saying, you can always come to me, I'll listen, because, like I said, we're friends. He then holds his hand out and Sasuke stops as he turns around and looks at it intensively, thinking of what path he should take, and he takes another look at Naruto, and he says, he's so lucky, he looks so stupid. He then shakes his hand saying, you're still a loser, you know. Yeah, a loser who's gonna be your Hokage soon. So after this, things change a lot. The war is ended with Naruto eventually finding Tobi, and he brings him in, and they, using some Takano jutsu, he brought him over to their side, but he decided not to be a ninja for a while. And of course, he still had a penance to pay for his crimes, which is to be exiled. And the same goes for Sasuke. And this will give Sasuke and Obito time to think, and they're kind of meet up, they're gonna kind of meet up on journeys, because they're both Uchiha, and they're one of the last ones. Yeah, they're the last Uchiha. So the Biju have then decided to stay on their own lands, find new Jinchuriki, and some simply want to live wherever they want, and everything like the original happens. And after the war, the establishment of Naruto's clan is made, which Naruto was named. You guys can name that. I honestly have no right to name this right now, because I don't really know what to. It's not even gonna sound authentic if I say it, because it has to be Japanese of sorts. If someone in the comments is Japanese, please give me your best, name for this clan, something that represents it very well. So he and Hinata then plan to get, married, but they wanted to do so when they can handle a good relationship. Danzo is executed by Sasuke before he leaves, and this means that the cursed seal is removed from all the root members, including Sai, who starts to regain his emotions, and he and Ino are getting close. Sakura, while trying to connect with Sasuke, has found that he's interested in Karin, and she has not to accept that, and they're just not meant to be together, and she's still going to chase after him for a while in a weird way. Oh, and Neji's alive, so he and Tenten get together, so that's fun. And just like that, the years pass. We find Naruto waking up, seeing Hinata at his side, and he gets out of bed yawning. Oh, Grandma, did you talk to them yet? Grandma's head then forms, saying, would it kill you to join in the meetings from time to time? I thought you were going to be Hokage. I am. I was just kind of occupied. Get up, Grandma would say, as Naruto then says, okay, fine. Naruto then gets up and covers Hinata, even with the bed sheets even more, and he goes, takes a shower, brushes his teeth, all that, before then heading out, and he sees the villagers, doing as usual. Everything is normal, it's peaceful, and everyone says hi to him, and he says hi back. And Naruto says, I'd rather redo this in my Kamui dimension. Well, too bad, Grandma would say. Unlike you, the host can't survive long. Naruto would then say, I'd rather redo this in person with the actual QB, like the actual Biju out of their host bodies. And Grandma says, well, too bad. Unlike you, hosts can't survive after having their beasts ripped out. And yeah, a few years back, Naruto got so much vitality and life force that the two noticed that he would still be alive even without Kurama, causing him to be even stronger than before. So he's already stronger than all the QB anyway. He's just fine without them. At this point, him and Kurama are just more of a friendly relationship. Like, they actually acknowledge each other as friends and close to something like brothers or father and son, because Kurama is that type of influence on Naruto now. So Naruto then heads off to a new summit place, which he made himself with the help of the other Jinchuriki, and this is when the story ends. But if I might like this, if I want to, I might make a Boruto series and, focus on the story of Himawari and Boruto being the next generation, being OP as hell. Tell me if you guys want that. I'm probably going to do it anyway. Also, what if Naofumi was an Uchiha? That is coming, but like I said, it's only like a continuation, so at most 2 or 3 parts. I'm going to be continuing it, guys. I am not fit, restarting a whole series like that. I already set up the whole motivations for the characters. I'm just going to continue it. Alright, this is where I'm ending off. Yeah, bye. Stay safe.